Hello, this is CityScape, a regular vodcast of people, places, and ideas that impact our community. I'm Dan West with the Livonia-Westland Chamber of Commerce, and today we're at Homestead Kitchen in Westland. Today we will meet the Churchill High School alum who went on to become the mayor of the city of Westland. Kevin Coleman was elected and took office in November as Westland's 10th mayor. Westland is the 9th largest city in Michigan with some 84,000 residents. After graduating from Churchill in 2001, he earned a bachelor's degree from Western Michigan University and went on to be a music instructor and vocal coach. He became a volunteer leader with the Westland Festival Committee and the Westland Veterans Association. His community involvement launched his political career in 2013 when he was elected to a 4-year term on the Westland City Council. He was then elected to the Michigan House of Representatives in 2018, 2020, and 2022. And we are talking with Mayor Coleman today. Mayor, thank you for finding time for us today.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
We are here at the Homestead Kitchen on Wayne Road, and you hung out quite a bit here having coffee hours when you're in the State House. What drew you to this place?
So we do our legislative coffee hours here. We partnered up with County Commissioner Glenn Anderson, who has been a public servant for Westland and Livonia for many years. Trina and her staff are just probably some of the friendliest people you'd ever meet. We're kind of centrally located right here on Wayne Road, right by Carlos Mexican Restaurant in the same strip mall, and it's good coffee, great desserts, as you see some right here, and yes. I know they're really famous for their cakes. They do a lot of wedding cakes and cakes for parties and really creative, cool stuff, so just a great space for us.
So you got a good snack, a coffee while getting a chance to talk with you. So
happy to be here.
Made it work.
Yep.
So you've been, at the time that we are talking, you've been in the office about a month now. What has this last month been like?
You know, it's a month, but it feels like it's been a few days. Time's flying. A lot of long days, just getting staff together, working with our directors, making sure everybody's on the same page. Parks and Rec Department, getting that expanded out and bringing on a new assistant director for that role has been really important. We're finalizing plans for a new fire station over at Merriman and Warren, because we have an aging fire station right there. I was able to appropriate $7 million as our state rep, which will pay for the bulk of that construction over there. So a lot of great things in the works, and it's been really exciting.
That's got to be kind of neat, that work you did in Lansing, and now you're going to be able to execute it here at the city.
Yeah, yep. So I was first elected to City Council 10 years ago, and worked well with Mayor Wild and some of the council members. I know Jim Godbout, he's still on City Council, and going up to the state and then coming back, it's really kind of come full circle for me. So it's been exciting.
Well, you've been in politics now about 10 years now. What got you initially into it, and was there anyone in particular that inspired you to get involved?
Well, it was kind of a hobby. My cousin Peter Herzberg, he's on the city council here in Westland. He's been on council 8 years now. He had to go to a city council meeting for a college course. He needed some extra credit or Poli-Sci 101 or whatever, and he asked me to join him and keep him company, and I kind of was immediately intrigued by local government. I didn't realize the amount of politics and service right here at the local level. And then, growing up, I lived around the block from Sandy Cicerelli, who was mayor of Westland back when I was in high school in the late 90s and early 2000s. And she served in the legislative, executive, and judicial roles here. She's our district court judge now. So it was always kind of a novelty that, hey, the mayor lives around the corner from me. And at the time, I had no idea I'd end up running for mayor, but I think she was kind of an inspiration for me.
So, in your time on city council and state rep and mayor up to this point, what philosophies have you developed as an elected official to serve the public?
It's always about building a great team and then being accessible. So I give out my cell phone number to every constituent. Since I've been mayor, of course, I'm getting more phone calls. People said, why don't you just change your number and get a new phone? I really think that defeats the purpose. I want to make sure that people can call me up 7 days a week. If I don't pick up right away, I always call back, make sure I hear people out. I'm a good listener. And just having this great team, this great staff here at the city, it's just crucial to running a great city. So,
I've heard from a lot of people that people said you were quick in responding to constituent concerns when you were in Lansing. Is that just something that you just knew you had to do, or is that something that you just developed as you went along the way?
Well, I think constituent services is crucial at the state level, but also the local level. And there's so many duties to the job, but being able to help people firsthand, that's really the rewarding part of it. I think that was a big motivation for me coming back and running for mayor, is I can help even more people right here at the local level, rather than up in Lansing. But yeah, being accessible and getting back to people has always been top of the list for me.
Now that you're back at Westland City Hall, what's on the top of the agenda as mayor now?
So two things really: economic development and expanding our Parks and Rec department, which we're still kind of growing right now. And I say economic development because Westland has a lot of potential and a lot of opportunity, but we haven't yet filled that potential out. There's a lot of vacant storefronts, there's vacant buildings, plots of land all over town. Westland Mall, of course, is aging. So really, I campaigned on, and my goal here as mayor is to create more density around this area of the city near Warren and Wayne Road, going towards Newburgh. And really citywide, there's opportunity on the north and south end of the city as well.
On the campaign trail, you talked that a lot of people were concerned about Westland Mall. And as far as malls go, every regional mall is kind of a bit of a challenge for every community. It's just not exclusive to Westland. But what is coming to your mind in addressing and the types of conversation you need to have to create some progress for Westland Mall?
So, on day one, I hired a new economic development director. His name's Alex Garza, experienced guy, pretty well-known guy in the area. He's already been really aggressive about reaching out to redevelopers and investors who might be interested. We've already met with the owners of the mall property, Namdar Realty. And, my vision over there is mixed-use development. So some of that could be residential, some could be office. Restaurants, retail, walking spaces. We're working on a project called Annex at Nankin, which is city-owned land right across the street from the mall, to turn that into an amphitheater and park space, a gathering space, which will really add to the property value over there and bring more people into that part of town. So I'm really open-minded. I want to make sure that what goes there fits the vibe of the area, but I'm kind of looking at a lot of different things, so I'm excited about it.
So you seem very optimistic about the potential there.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's a lot of untapped potential here in Westland. There's people kind of been waiting on the sidelines to come in and invest, but they were just waiting for the right time.
Okay.
And I think as you see, Livonia, Canton, Dearborn Heights, some of these cities around Westland all expanding and getting more investment, there are people waiting to come into Westland, but just waiting for the right time and the right market. So I think we're getting to that point where we're going to see a lot more activity here.
So let's get off of the nuts and bolts of the job. When you're not working, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Well, I eat out a lot, so I like to try different restaurants and different food, whether it be in Westland or in some of the neighboring cities, or even in Detroit or Ann Arbor. I read. I like history. I read some novels, that kind of thing. Play a little bit of piano still. Grew up doing music, so. And then just spending time with family and friends, and just getting out and about. I love to travel when I can, when I find time. So,
you said you read history. Is there any time frame that intrigues you more than others?
I kind of like medieval times, and there's that meme about Roman history and thinking about it every 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not every 10 minutes, maybe once a week, but I just like to think back to how things were hundreds of years ago or 1,000 years ago, and a lot of that, tradition and way of doing things is still with us today, and I've always found that interesting.
Now, obviously, you have an intense interest in music. So when you were driving between Westland and Lansing in the house, what was on the Kevin Coleman playlist?
I'm all over the board. I do anything from rock to R&B to rap to oldies. I like Stevie Wonder. Southern rock, just really it's a mix. I like to change it up and listen to different things.
Favorite concert?
Probably this is going back a ways, but Incubus, it's a band, a rock band.
Yep.
Yeah. Just
late 90s, early 2000 era around there?
Yeah. That was something, I think I saw him twice, actually.
Okay. So very good. So, well, Mayor, we thank you for taking time to talk to us today. especially with your busy schedule, especially with what you've gone through in the last month. But good luck in your new role, and we'll see you around.
Thank you, Dan.
So,
Appreciate you having me.
No problem, man.
Yep.
No problem. That's all we have for this edition of Cityscape. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time.